Hi guys. Right, so tonight I want to talk about the difference in Wendy and Donna, especially now they're fighting for freedom. It's not actually going, I don't believe, as possibly we all thought. Maybe you was thinking a little different to me. Let me know. But I don't think it's going in the direction that possibly we all thought, especially with Donna. But stick with me anyway, and I just want to point a few things out. I want to point something out that's quite interesting about Wendy as well. So right, let's get on it. So, you know, everybody has said with Donna and both her kids that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but actually, I think in the case of Wendy, I think it does. And right, before I go any further, quick disclaimer. My name's Dawn, you found Lounge Bar Crime. Everything that you hear in this video is from my own research, it's my opinion, and it's for entertainment purposes only. That out of the way, let's get it done. Now, I've always said, so I'm going to hold my hands up here because I think I might have been wrong, just done more observations here. I've always said that Donna's going to be easy. Now, I don't mean that, but I do think that she's going to be easy to convict. But I also, when I say easy, I mean like she's going to slip up a lot on the stand, and she's just going to be like a bit of a blubbering mess, and she's just going to make a whole hack of it. I'm not too sure now. And I'll tell you something else as well. I don't think Wendy is made of the same stuff as Donna. I think there's a lot more to Donna than we've ever give it credit for, all that as well. But yeah, I think Donna's got a bit more about her than we thought. Now, that I don't mean to say that when she gets on the stand she's not going to mess up. She is. I think she's going to, just as she has in the telephone calls, I think she is going to slightly mess up. But what I'm talking about is actually handling the situation in court. I think she's going to handle that a lot better than Wendy has, and Wendy will. Now, don't forget, when Wendy first started on the stand, she was very cocky, she was very smug. In fact, even though she was subpoenaed, I think she quite enjoyed a little bit of it. You know, we all know, you know, she's not going to be convicted. She was saying all that. But I just think that she had a certain air about her, which we all know has changed. Obviously, we heard it when Donna, when George Kappelman did say to her, you know, can you explain what immunity is? So do you remember in my other video I did say about the way Donna handled the bump? And I also said that if that had been me, obviously if you're innocent you would handle it differently, but I did say that if that had been me, I'd have been running for the hills. If somebody had come up and said, you know, like, we want 5k, and I would have been frightened to death. Now, let's bear in mind, I mean, Donna was bobbing on. I can say bobbing on a little bit, because you can say I'm bobbing on it, you know, I'm not bothered. But Donna was no spring chicken, and she handled that quite well. And if you remember, you know, she just got on her toes and carried on walking. She was quite sprightly, carried on walking. And even when you listen to her in that telephone call speaking to Charlie, she did use the code, and she held it together pretty well. When you look now, when you compare that now to when she got arrested at the airport, I mean, if we just watch her being arrested at this airport, she asked if she could phone her attorney, and And like I've already said, the way she put up a fight with that phone, when we were kids, and she, like I said, she's older than me, but when we were kids, you didn't argue with a copper. Let's just watch her going whilst that's happening, and then going through that airport, and just look how much really of a tough cookie she is. Do you know what? Can I just say something on that? Like she's only small. Donna, I reckon she was probably like I was in school. But you know, I bet she was a force to be reckoned with in the playground. You know, have you seen them small kids? And you think, where'd you get the guts from? You know, like they'll just front anybody and say what they think. That's what I think she was. I'm not going to say the B word, but yeah, I bet she went far behind. Now in the airport, as we've all seen, she gives Harvey the instructions what to do. You know, go home, take that tablet, and you know, get an Uber, do this, do that, and before she left for the airport, when she was texting Wendy, she was saying, you know, I need to do this, I need to do that. She was tying everything up. This is not a woman that's gone to pieces. Yeah, I could keep saying she cried on the phone to Charlie, but she's not absolutely lost it all. She's 73, 74 there, and she's going on the run. I mean, that's what she's doing. She's going on the run at that age. Now, could you imagine Wendy doing that? Wendy hasn't got... I mean, you could say Wendy's more hard-faced. She'd sit there till the cows come home saying that she's innocent. I think Donna was trying to cut her losses and everything. Similarly, when Donna first had her court appearance, not the very first one, which was like Zoom, the second one, where she appeared in court with that female attorney. I keep forgetting her name, so forgive me, I'm sorry. When she appears with her, she did chipping, and she was told more or less to shut up, and she did. And for the life of me, I've said this before, I don't know why she's got rid of her and gone with Rashbaum, because I do think that female attorney was a force to be reckoned with, and I think she should have stayed with her, but for some reason, I don't know if she's been lured into, you know, talked into going with Dan Rashbaum, but I really can't see why she's done that, but she has. But I think we're going to see a side to Donna that's very different to Wendy and to Charlie, actually. I think she's going to be tougher than we... what I actually think is if Georgia Kappelman didn't have as much honour as she did, I think she'd be a harder nut to crack. It's only the fact that they've got all this evidence that they're going to pin her down. But if they didn't have as much, I don't think Donna would be as easy as Charlie. I think she's got more about her, definitely. Yeah, I think she's pretty clued up, pretty cute, and she's not lost any of it, age or not. She's not lost any of it. You can see here how Wendy's very, very confident. You can also see Wendy looking around in court, listening. She takes everything in. The other thing with Wendy is Wendy's quite hard-faced in that when they have a sidebar, she'll quite openly try and listen to what they say, and she doesn't care. She'll quite openly carry on looking through that book. Even when Georgia Kappelman's gone on to the next question, she'll quite do that. There's no embarrassment with Wendy. Well, but we know that because Wendy is the one that said, you know, I didn't visit the crime scene, and then they'd shown her the car and she said, yes, that's my car, and then the jibbers, and we've seen all this. I don't want to regurgitate all this. I want to get on to what my point is here, but I'm just trying to give examples, although I know that you know a lot, and I think when you correct Donna, she's going to stand corrected and she's going to try and get round it, whereas I think, my opinion, I think Wendy is just a hard-faced, barefaced liar. But I'm going to show you how Wendy, where it gets a bit different for Wendy, and this is where I think she's going to handle it when she's on trial, because, as I've said, she will go on trial. It's just a matter of time at the moment. But she's going to be there. I've got the best bottle of wine in. The best bottle of wine I can find for when her trial starts. I can't wait. I think I'm going to lose my job as well, because I just can't see how I'm going to be able to do both. We'll see. Right. Let's just carry on here.
No.
Was it ever ruled on?
I don't know. If it were, it should be here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it here?
No, it's not. It was scheduled to be ruled on in August of 2014, right?
I don't know. Right? I don't know when it was scheduled for. I do know that nobody took it very seriously.
Do you know, I think that's one of the most embarrassing parts of acting that Wendy's done in all the time she's been on that stand, and it's probably because it's one of the most crucial things she could have been asked, because of course that is why Dan Markel was murdered. She actually thinks that she's holding it together really well. It's easy for her to hold it together because she really doesn't care anyway, and didn't care about Dan, obviously. So it's very easy for her to hold it together and act like, you know, is it here? So that we all know that that's all rubbish. Now, the interesting thing that I want to talk about with Wendy when she gets challenged and she's being questioned, I think her game is to become intimidating. So we've heard the I mean, she plays every card in the book. We've heard the voice break.
You don't care who killed the father that they loved.
Of course I care who killed the father that they loved.
Oh, can I just interrupt the video just to say that if I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a little tidgy button down there that's got like on it. If you'd just like to give that a smash for me, please, and if you'd just like to go over and you'll see subscribe, yeah, if you can just do that for me, please, I just appreciate it. Thank you. When she doesn't get away with the voice breaking, she doesn't get away with this sidetracking. Is it a question? And of course not. And she becomes quite flippant. And when she doesn't get away with that, she becomes intimidating. I'm going to show you a few examples of it. And she actually tries to stare Georgia Kappelman out. Now, I have read up a little bit on this. And actually, the next Patreon case that I'm putting on, it's not on there yet, it's going on this week. Somebody does it in a police interrogation, actually does this staring. I can't do it like they do it. I'm more of a lover, me. Peace. You know, I was around 60s, 70s. So, but she has it. She does this stare out to intimidate Georgia Kappelman, to stop her doing it, and to change the narrative.
But that was the path. Wendy is good at keeping things close to the vest and redirecting, and
I've just got this feeling I don't think we're going to see October for Wendy. I think she's going to be grabbed before. That's what I was going to say before. So, I was reading on, when I was saying there about Patreon, I went off the subject then, didn't I? I should have notes, shouldn't I have proper notes? I keep saying this. So, it was saying about when somebody is in a situation like that, where they're cornered, such as being in a police interrogation, a police interview, they do actually stare when they don't like the question. They stare. I keep trying to do it. Yeah. You know, like, really, they do all that. And it's said that they do that to, well, it's a form of intimidation. They're trying to intimidate the detective or the lawyer to stop doing. And in this case that I'm going to put on, this detective, this female detective, she's Scottish. She just say, you can stare at me all you want. Like, I'm not going to stop. And I thought, I wish Georgia Kaffenman would say that. Don't, you can look at me like that all you want. You're very intimidating. But then, you see, this is why I couldn't be a lawyer, because you're just supposed to let them do what they want to do, aren't you? And let the jury see how they react. And she's not in an interview, in an interrogation. She'll be on trial. She'll be being questioned. So, but that is what she's going to do. She's going to do all that with her face, to try and change it all, to put Georgia Capel, put her on her back foot, push back on it. But yeah, and I know this is why I just like Sarah Dugan, just to even if they let Sarah Dugan just question her for Donna's trial, and let Georgia Kappelman question her for Wendy's trial, because like I said, Wendy's going to have a trial. But I'd just like to see Sarah Dugan do the questioning for against Wendy on her mother's trial and that. So I don't, with what Wendy's actually going to say as a witness. By the way, if you want to see all the witnesses, I know Judy, AA, Legal Focus, she has been covering, all the witnesses that are going to be pulled for Donna and everything. So I don't think we're going to get much joy out of Wendy there, to be fair. I think Wendy is going to act like she acted on Charlie's, that she didn't know anything and all this lot. And obviously Donna's not going to have had these conversations with her daughter, so she's going to feel ditched by her. I don't know why one of them doesn't just spill. And to be fair,
everyone can be seated.
To be fair, I think it should be Charlie. Charlie's got the most to lose because he's the youngest. So I don't know why Charlie's not spilling like Mike Banua. I haven't got a clue. But anyway, so I just want to know, where do you think they're both going to be different? I actually thought at the start of all this that Wendy was very, very much like Donna, but Wendy operates very, very differently. Very differently to Donna. Wendy's very calculated. Donna's, and I did get that right, Donna's very brash, she's impulsive, but I think she's clued up. I mean, Wendy's clued up, but I don't think she's going to be the pushover we think she's going to be. She's still going to be found guilty because she is guilty. But I think she's just going to handle herself a lot better than we possibly gave her credit for. I don't know, what do you think? But I'm sure I've got Wendy to a T. That those intimidating looks, She might not use them as much on, like I said, on her mother's trial, but she'll certainly have them there ready for her own trial. And I'll tell you what, there'll be a massive difference to when Donna gets found guilty and when Wendy gets found guilty. Donna's gonna, I think Donna's gonna handle it. Not saying she's not going to be upset, but I think she's going to handle it. Wendy is going to be, I think she's going to be screaming from the rooftops, "You've got it wrong, you've got it wrong, blah blah blah, da da da." I think she's going to be like that. Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait. Honestly, I've spent an extra £2.50 on my wine. It's all going to be good. Right, sorry about that before. The friend of Dan's was Tamara Demko. Yeah, she's one that said that Wendy's very good at changing the narrative, and she's going to be a witness as well for Donna. So that'll be good. And I believe Rob is as well. So I'm not 100% what they're going to use Rob for, unless it's to do with, obviously, with the way that she was, and maybe, I don't know, maybe the money, maybe the investments and things like that. I'm not 100%, but I feel a bit sad that they're going to have Rob there. I mean, they've got to do what they've got to do, but I think I would have, and I'm sure Georgia Kappelman has. I was going to say, I think I would have tried to have done anything but have Rob there, you know, because he had a lifetime with him, didn't he? So I'm sure they'll make it dead short and sweet and everything. But do you know, the only other thing that I thought was, I know this is awful, but I kind of thought, you know, like how we've been seeing like Sarah Boone sort of like kicking off in court and saying things and all this lot. At first, I sort of thought like Donna's going to be like Sarah Boone's mother, you know, like. But you know what? I think Rashbaum's going to ask her to be quiet and all the rest of it. But yeah, she should have stayed with that female lawyer, because I think she still wouldn't have won. But she wouldn't. I don't think she would have cost as much. Not that I know what Rashbaum charges, but I don't think she would have cost as much. And I think she would have had more in-way than Rashbaum, because, to be fair, I think it's becoming a bit of a joke with Rashbaum. I think it's a case of he's just turning up. I could do what Rashbaum's doing. Any one of us could. You could. I could. We all could. You know, and could you imagine being on his feet, turning up doing that? In fact, I actually think I could do a better job. Not that I'd want to, but you get the point. What is Donna going to be like if Wendy is really, really hard-faced on that stand? And I think when Donna sees it, because Donna's more reactive than Wendy. Wendy, I was going to say she can contain it. She can't contain it because her face goes, but she's more hard-faced to do it. Donna's more reactive. She's to me, she's like ready to explode. You know, she will go all in. I think Donna will go all in. Remember what I said just before about that kid in the playground? I think she's got it about her, and I think there's a tidgy possibility that something might change in Donna's trial. There's a possibility that something could change if Donna loses her shit over Wendy, and she says to Rashbaum, I'm gonna say it was Wendy that got us to do it. I don't know. I just think if there was going to be a time, it would be then, when Donna's watching her daughter, when Donna's watching Wendy do that, because she didn't like being ignored, and Wendy's good at ignoring her to get a response. Now, Wendy might play the game, you know. There, mother. She might play that by saying, I don't think my mother did it. I don't think my mother was involved in anything like this. But, I don't know, trying to be on the fence a little bit like she was with Charlie. So, you've got to tell me what you think. We've got to get our heads together with this. I don't know. We haven't got long now. And we're going to see it. But I would really, I don't know. Like, some ways I think I'd love Donna to drop Wendy, because then as evil as it is, we could all get enjoyment out of it and go, there you go, Wendy. That's the kind of family that you all are. You all in the same pot, sort of thing. You're all the same. But then in another way, I suppose Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Dugan would prefer to get them from their own hard work, get every one of them, while they're still trying to defend themselves. I don't know. I don't know which I would prefer. Yeah, in some ways I think, I'd love to see Wendy's face after her mother, if her mother dropped her in it, to say, you did all that. You did all that planning, and you wound your mother up that much for her to do all that, and it's come back and bit you on the behind, and she's dropped you in it now. So I don't know what I would prefer. Tell me what you'd prefer. We'd all prefer that this hadn't happened in the first place, wouldn't we? But it just shows you now what they're all, what they're all like. Because really, to be fair, they're not really defending each other that much. Well, Charlie, being the Dumbo that he is still was still kind of doing it, but he was doing all that, wasn't he? About her going to the crime scene, as though he was trying to plant seeds. So I don't know. Anyway, that's me done. So I have done a video on Donna implicating Wendy. I've also done a video on Wendy being the maestro, exactly how I think she went about this right from the start, and it was right before, well before anything happened at all, where the planning started, and I think it started years before. Anyway, yeah, so all I can say is stay safe, take care, and good night. I'll see you soon. Bye.